And we're back again with another episode of Setup Wars. We're going to keep cranking these out for you every Monday. If you guys want to be a part of the show, make sure to watch the video link below to learn how to submit your setup. But with that said, sit back and relax and let the Setup Wars begin. What would you do if you woke up one day and you found out that all the files on your computer have been deleted? Beautiful memories of you and your children vanished into thin air. School projects that you've been working on for months that determine if you graduate or not. All hope is lost because you didn't back up your computer. Seriously guys, I hope you're backing up your PC frequently. But if you're one of the baboons who aren't backing up your PC, then listen up because I'm about to save your life with today's sponsor. Backblaze makes backing up and accessing your data astonishingly easy. We're talking unlimited computer backup for Macs and Windows PCs. You can back up your docs, music, photos, videos, drawings, projects. I can go on all day. Not only is all your data backed up securely in the cloud, but you can access your data from anywhere in the world using their web app or via a smartphone app on the iOS or Android. You also have the option of Backblaze restoring your files via mail by either sending you a flash key or a full hard drive with all of your data to get you back up and running. It actually happens more frequently than you guys think. In fact, they've already restored over 55 billion files for their customers so far. It's stupid easy to get started. Just visit backblaze.com/TechSource or click the link below to start your 15-day, no credit card required free trial. If you end up loving the service, which you will, it's only $7 a month, which honestly is a steal considering you get that peace of mind knowing that all your files are backed up. We're not wasting any time, you guys. We're jumping straight into the episode, and holy cheese and crackers, look at that presentation. That is one hell of an entrance, if I say so myself. The custom wall, the marble desk, the logo in the center, the symmetry. I mean, this setup is seriously next level. Who is this man and what does he do? Well, this is Angga's setup, and he's a real estate developer from Indonesia, and it took him about a month to build this setup from scratch for the purpose of just gaming. We got 3 different 27-inch monitors with a 240 Hz in the middle, all mounted against the desk using 2 different mounts. I seriously can't get over the desk. It's got this marble finish that matches the marble accents from the wall, but I don't think it's actually marble because he did drill through it to pass the keyboard cable. And let me tell you, it's not easy doing that like you would normally do with a traditional desk. Either way, it came out looking amazing, and it's just so refreshing to see something different on the show. I just love what he did with the entire wall. The letter A in the center with the wall shelves holding up his Gundams, and the lighting. I mean, it's all done very well. It's got a hell of a presentation. Whoever walks into this room the first time is definitely gonna be impressed. This entire setup was actually 3D modeled by him, so everything was custom made from scratch, including the drawers. Surprisingly, the setup doesn't have any speakers, so he relies on the Sennheiser EPOS headphones for all the audio with a dedicated Razer Siren microphone on the left side. Now, since the desk was custom made, you best believe he took cable management into consideration. All the wires beautifully wrapped and routed through the back of the desk. I don't think I've seen anything more cleaner than this. Of course, you're gonna need a beautiful PC to complement this setup and keep up with all the hardware, and that is exactly what we have here. A semi-water-cooled build inside the O11 Dynamic that's been custom painted. We got the Ryzen 9 5950X paired with a Galax RTX 3080 Ti. Excellent work with the chrome tubing and the modded display in the back. I mean, everything came together so majestically and so beautifully. This is hands down one of my favorite setups so far this year, and it is without a doubt worthy of a seal. Congrats, Angga, on taking home the 48th seal of approval. Hit me up on Discord if you're on there. Otherwise, toss an email to setupwarsprizes@gmail.com to claim your one-of-a-kind plaque and a TechSource mousepad free of charge. Excellent work, my guy. Let's keep the show on 6th gear and check out this amazing triple display battle station by Anthony from Minnesota. He's an underground construction surveyor who built this setup in the span of 3 years so that he can work from home and game on his spare time. We got the Samsung Odyssey G9 as a centerpiece with 2 additional 27 inches at vertical mode on the sides. This was pretty much the only way you could fit 3 monitors alongside a super ultra-wide, unless you decided to stack the other 2 on top, which doesn't really make sense. So I'm really glad he went with this layout instead. Below that, we got all of his peripherals nicely spaced out and organized, starting with the Razer Tartarus keypad on the left, then moving over to the Razer Turret keyboard, and finishing up with a Logitech G502 mouse with very clean cable work alongside the mousepad cable. You'll love to see it. I'm actually surprised he's using a Razer Turret, considering that is made for couch gaming setups, but maybe he disconnects this from the setup and moves on over to the other side where the Xbox One X and the Wii is, but that really doesn't make sense because he has the better Xbox Series X sitting at the main setup besides his PC. Anyways, the PC is a custom build rocking the limited edition Cyberpunk RTX 2080 Ti and the Ryzen 9 3900X. As good looking as that GPU is, I gotta say, man, it's looking like a fish out of water when compared to the rest of the colors in the PC and the setup. It would have been cool to add a splash of yellow somewhere in the setup, like an accent color or something. Nothing too crazy, just enough to complement, well, actually the wallpaper does have a little bit of yellow, so I guess you're good. Now for audio, the setup is rocking a pair of Razer Nomos, but if you look behind that, he has another set of speakers mounted against the wall. I'm assuming those are the rear channels for the entertainment setup, considering he has 2 more on the opposite side. When he's gaming, however, Anthony slaps on the SteelSeries Arctis 7s that he keeps under the desk. And while we're down here, let's admire some of the good cable management. Even with the sit and stand desk, I'm very impressed that it was able to maintain everything so nicely. I do want to focus on the personalization of the setup for a bit because I really think it deserves its own spotlight. To start off from the top, he's got a Gobi glide bar highlighting a Halo battle rifle that he himself 3D modeled and printed. Moving over to the left side of the room, we can see a Call of Duty mystery box that he also custom built himself. I mean, this guy really took it a step further to decorate the insides with some RGB lighting and confetti, and it kind of doubles as a storage container where he keeps his extra gear and accessories. Very clever. He also stuck to the same cozy, rustic theme all throughout the room with wooden accents and industrial shelves that displays his collectibles. I mean, the amount of work that went into this setup is very impressive. Absolutely incredible and very creative gaming room. Thank you, Anthony, for sharing this with us. Next up, we have a very impressive hybrid setup by Flo coming all the way from Munich, Germany. He came across the channel during quarantine, and with the help of my videos, he built a setup that got him through lockdown. But there was one big problem. He was very limited in space as he shares a flat with other people, so the only place he can actually build the setup was in the corner of his bedroom. It took him about 3 months to build for gaming and working from home, and it looks like both his monitors are hooked up to a single desk mount, while the laptop has its very own, which is what you're supposed to do with a laptop. The monitors usually never move once mounted, so you don't have to worry about repositioning it all the time. Having a separate mount for the laptop, however, gives him total freedom on positioning it wherever he wants. One thing I've mentioned a few times before on the show, if you want to clean up your desktop appearance, you can actually hide the second taskbar since you don't need it duplicated. Just go into the taskbar settings and check off the option that shows taskbar on all displays. You seem like someone who would appreciate that tip considering you keep things very neat and tidy and don't have any icons on your desktop. Now for peripherals, he's rocking the Ducky 1.2 SF Gaming with a Logitech G502 mouse. And moving on to audio, it looks like the setup doesn't use any speakers, but he does have a pair of DT770 Pros that he keeps underneath the desk, along with a few things. He also keeps his USB switcher that allows him to switch his keyboard and mouse between the PC and the laptop, and then he also has an HDMI splitter that's connected to his ultrawide and his TV. This way he's able to mimic the content from the ultrawide and easily transition over to the TV without having to change sources. Once again, we have another sit and stand desk, and I'm very pleased to see excellent cable management. The bulk of the wires are maintained in the back and plugged into a power strip, and then he has a single power cable running down the vertebrae channel, which allows the desk to adjust its height without any issues. This is how you manage a sit and stand desk, Marquez. Finishing up with the custom budget PC that appears to have a little Goku theme going on with some modded parts, like a skin power supply and hard drive cages. I think some orange cable extensions from Amazon would really complete the look though. All in all, I'm very impressed with the setup that you were able to build in such a limited space. I mean, you were able to fit 2 monitors, a laptop, and your PC on a sit and stand desk with excellent cable management. On top of that, the setup has synergy and a bit of personality as well. I mean, well done, and thank you for sharing this with us. This next setup had very humble beginnings. You see, Manuel was originally a console gamer, but he was fed up with the locked FPS and limited range of motion from the controller, so he decided to upgrade to a gaming laptop, the Alienware R15 with an RTX 2060 Super to be exact. He was immediately sucked into the world of PC gaming and just couldn't get enough, so he started purchasing gear to build himself a complete gaming setup. Sound familiar to anyone? He started off very simple and easy and picked up a 32-inch monitor. Then shortly after, he picked up some dedicated speakers, and he was happy for a brief moment, but like the most of us watching his video, that simply wasn't enough to satisfy his needs. So he sells his laptop and decides to build himself a gaming PC, and well, 8 months later, here we are with a Setup Wars feature. The setup was built for only gaming and media storage, and it looks like he is still using the same 32-inch monitor, but added a tablet on the bottom for multitasking. Excellent use of space, by the way, by mounting both the speakers on the wall to make room for his Xbox Series X and the VR headset. Moving on to peripherals, you got an Alienware keyboard and mouse combo, and that's pretty much it on the surface. There are way more things on the walls than on the actual desk. He's using those industrial-looking shelves that we saw earlier in the episode to keep some of his stuff organized, and it actually blends in with the theme of the setup too. And then we have the PC further in the back. This is actually his first ever build and transition over to the PC Master Race, and my guy went straight for the high-end parts with a Ryzen 7 3700X and an EVGA RTX 3090 FTW3. But he's planning on switching the GPU over to the RX 6900 XT instead and upgrade the CPU to the Ryzen 950-950X. I've never seen anyone wanted to swap their 3090 for a 6900 XT before. That is actually shocking to me. But for your first build, I do have to say you went with some nice parts and it came out looking really good. I would just buy some black cable combs to keep the GPU cables nice and straight, but other than that, welcome to the PC Master Race and thank you for sharing this with us. Wrapping up the episode is Nathan and his super clean gaming setup. We got those super popular 3DR panels as the backdrop. However, it's the first time I'm seeing them installed all the way towards the floor instead of the ceiling. I personally think it would have looked so much better if you started right underneath the wall shelf so that area doesn't look so empty, but that's just my opinion. The setup was completed in 4 months for the purpose of gaming and photo editing. He does everything on the single 25-inch 240Hz monitor that he clamped to the desk. I gotta say, I love this guy's dedication to the color scheme. He kept the white on black contrast very consistent throughout the setup, from the peripherals to the speakers and his wallpaper that ties everything together nicely. Looks like there's a skinned Xbox tucked away in the back with a controller and what appears to be a desk fan on the left. I mean, everything is so neat and tidy down to the cable management, which I want to show you something real quick. Notice how he used a long power strip so that it would reach all the cables easily, and it's rotated to the side so the cables can plug in directly from the back for a cleaner look. This way the plugs are not visible from the front. This might be a very helpful tip to some of you guys watching. Wrapping up with the PC that's powering it all. We got a custom modded build with a 10600K and an RTX 3070 Strix that's been painted. He didn't want to overpay for a white 3070 since those are going for almost double the price at the time, so he decided to paint his very own Strix card. He also painted the case. The 4000D Airflow originally comes with a gray front panel. In fact, I did the same thing with my Frost V2 build, if you guys remembered. But yeah, such a gorgeous build to complement a clean setup. Thank you, Nathan, for sharing this with us. And that will do for today's video. Let me know which of these setups was your absolute favorites. If you guys are enjoying the new season so far, do let me know by tossing a like. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because we do host Setup Wars every single Monday. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.